Good morning. Today we are going to see the paper Pedagogy of Mathematics. Topic Methods of Teaching. Topic Methods of Teaching. Methods of teaching, it means a method is a scientific way of presenting the subject keeping in mind the psychological and physical requirement of children. A mathematics teacher has a variety of methods and techniques available for the use in learning teaching mathematics. The selection of suitable method depend upon the objectives of the lesson, nature of the content and needs of the learner. Some methods are more appropriate for teaching students as a group, whereas some methods are specially designed for individual instruction. A method best for one teacher and applicable for a class may totally be a failure for another teacher to teach the some other class, so it should be left for the teacher from his wide information which of the methods to use and when. Here we are going to discuss in detail the various methods available to teach mathematics from 6th to 10th standard in this chapter. Then teacher-centered methods. In this method, the teacher role is to give knowledge and full control of the classroom. Lecture method, it is the oldest teaching method. It is the most dominating method and is liked by the majority of teachers. In this method, teacher present the subject matter and the student listen. Students are not participating in this method. This method is teacher centered and information centered, and in this method teacher works as a sole resource in classroom induction. Due to lack of participation, students get bored and some of them may go to sleep. Here teacher is presenting ready-made knowledge, and due to this spoon feeding, the student lose interest and their power of reasoning and observation get no stimulation. In this method, teacher goes ahead with the subject matter at his own speed. The teacher may use blackboard at time and may also decide no. This teacher-centered method in its extreme form does not expect any question or response from the student. It helps only intelligent student who can understand and remember the fact told by the teacher, which is in this method, teacher goes ahead with the subject matter at his own speed. The teacher may use blackboard at time and may also dictate note. This teacher-centered method in its extreme form does not expect any question or response from the student. It helps only intelligent student who can understand and remember the fact told by the teacher, which is just a blind exercise. In this method, teacher prepare his lesson plan at home and deliver it out in the class. This method does not cater from releasing the teaching mathematics and is not in accordance with the principle of teaching. Then guidelines for preparing a lecture. To make lecture method effective, the teacher has to follow certain guidelines while preparing the lecture. Lecture should be carefully and systematically planned as lesson. Teaching objectives should be kept in mind while preparing the lecture. The lecture should excavate through knowledge of the subject matter, its organization, development, interpretation and application. Lecture should be related with the day-to-day life experience of the student. Students' participation should be encouraged by asking questions, clarify doubt and reviewing the key point at frequent interval. Merit of lecture method. It is possible to handle a large number of students at a time and no laboratory equipment aids are required. Using this method, the knowledge can be imparted to the student quickly and the prescribed syllabus can be covered in a short time. Teachers feel secure and satisfied. Using this method, it is quite easy to impart facial information, historical and history of eminent personalities. Teacher can develop his own style of teaching. In this method, teacher can easily the logical sequence of the subject by planning his lecture. This method gives the student as well as the teacher a sense of satisfaction and achievement. Lecture method trains student to listen long duration. It delivers a lot of information in a short amount of time. Then demerit of lecture method. In this method, student participation is negligible and student become passive recipients of information. We are not sure if the student are concentrating and understanding the subject matter. This method leads weak student develop a hearted for learning. It does not take into account the previous knowledge of the student. It does not the individual need and differences of the student. It is the lowest retention value of all teaching techniques. It is an undemocratic and authorization method. Inability to understand one essential point may make the rest of the lecture unintelligent. In this method does not help in developing problem solving skill. This method can be used only in higher secondary level or college level. Then demonstration method. Then the second method is demonstration method. Demonstration method is the method of teaching such a subject that need live guidance on the part of the teacher. Demonstration involves showing by reaction, explaining or making clear by use of examples or experiment. This strategy is applied mainly in teacher education program. Demonstration often occur when students have a hard time connecting theory to actual practice or while when students are unable to understand application of theory. The demonstration method of teaching shows learners how to perform the task step by step so that the learner will eventually be able to complete the same task independently. Demonstration method focus to achieve psychomotor and cognitive objectives. It is given in 3 successive steps. First one, introduction. Demonstration method focus to achieve psychomotor and cognitive objectives. It is given in 3 successive steps. First one is introduction. In this step, objectives of the lesson are stated. The teacher demonstrates the activity based the student that is to be developed. Then development, student try to initiate the demonstrated activity. If there is any query, the teacher tries to satisfy them by further demonstration and illustration. Then integration, all these steps the teacher integrate all the activities and then these activities are rehearsed, revised and evaluated. Then rules for using the demonstration method. Give a perfect demonstration, give a step-by-step explanation, give reason, examples and comparison to make the explanation clear. Continue until the student has imitated each step. Provide student practice with assistant as and necessary. Complete the exercise with an evaluation. Then advantages of demonstration method. It helps in evaluating various sense to make learning permanent. Teacher get cooperation of subject in teaching learning progress. It develop interest in student and motivate them for their active participation. It helps in achieving psychomotor objectives. Even complex skill becomes easy to understand. Then disadvantages. It can be used only for skill subject. Only the attention of the learner are invited towards the activity demonstrated. They are not free to discuss about it. Students are not able to create handmade model for demonstration. It is a time-consuming method and the teachers not able to complete the syllabus in time. The demonstration method is restricted to only certain kinds of teaching content. Then example, finding orthocenter of the triangle. The orthocenter is the point where the 3 attributes of the triangle intersect each other. Here the abilities is the line down from the vertex of the triangle and is perpendicular to the opposite side, we represent the orthocenter of S height. And step by step explanation is here. Then merit types of team teaching. Then the next topic is team teaching. Team means T together, E everyone, A achieves, M more. Definition: all arrangements that include two or more faculty in some level of collaboration in the planning and delivery of the course material to a class. Team teaching has co-found in different departments ranging from school to college level. It can help create a dynamic and interactive learning environment. In ordinary class teaching, only one faculty cover entire course material which is interested or uninterested to the student. But in team teaching, course material is divided up according to their specialization and interest. Students have the opportunity to hear multiple perspectives, different faculties, create interest, keep attention and prevent boredom. Then types of team teaching. There are different approached in team teaching. Some of the more common are interactive team teaching. Two faculty members present in front of the class simultaneously. Rationally team teaching, faculty member take class in rotation. This rotational format has a number of variation depending on the subject matter and the number of faculty involved. Participant observer team teaching, all participation faculty are present for all the classes but only one in teaching at a time. Other teachers could play as participating observer. Then benefit for faculty from team teaching. Improve their own team teaching, avoid the lonely experience of solo teaching, have opportunities for creative assignment, develop clear perspective on the difference between discipline, build bridge of understanding across discipline. Then benefits for students from team teaching. Make classes more interesting and challenging because of the novelty. Improve student learning outcome, interpersonal skill, communication skill, analysis and judgment. Team teaching allows students to involve high level intellectual delight among faculties. Students have the opportunity to see different teaching skills and learning techniques. The presence of another teacher in the class reduce disciplinary problems. Then disadvantages: some teachers are rigid personality type or may carry to a single method of teaching. Some simply dislike the other teachers of the team. Allocation of course material to different faculties may sometimes inconvenient since two or more faculties present in the class expenses are more. Teams don't have adequate common planning time. Learner-centered method. In this method, students gather knowledge through discussion, critical thinking, problem solving, etc. Teacher's role is to catch and facilitate. Then self-learning method. Then the next one is self-learning method. Self-learning is defined as a process by which the individual take the initiate with or without the assistance of others in diagnosing their learning need, formulating learning goal, identifying human and material resources for learning, and evaluating learning outcomes. Self-learning skills involved to manage learning tasks without the help of others. These skills are necessary for effective lifelong learning, and students are expected to develop this skill. It is the modern way of learning, and it has proven to be more effective and convenient. Nowadays, you can learn how to do anything with your interest. Problem solving method and peer tutoring are good examples that capture the essence of self-directed learning. A learning contract is commonly used as a tool to assist students in planning for their learning goal and learning action. Self-learning gives you to ability to identify problem and quickly look for effective solution on your own. Importance of self-learning. Self-learning causes fraud it worth 100 times over, as it keeps the individual happy, motivated and engaged. It works as a handy tool that leads to high performance and efficiency level. It is useful for individuals who do not have enough time to enroll themselves in formal course because of some reason or other. When a learning process is not forced and the student want to take the first step at self-learning voluntarily, then it is a move in the right direction. Self-learning has to happen from within because you cannot force someone to do it effectively. It is actually motivated by a desire to make yourself richer in knowledge so that you can better your circumstances. Self-learning is considered enriching and worthwhile because the learner can set a pace that is convenient and affordable. With the advent of the internet, it has become the process of self-learning has become very easy and flexible. It is especially beneficial for professionals who want to boost up their skills to refresh and hone their knowledge. Self-learning helps a person in understanding the basic concept of learning, and it says that everyone has to learn by himself at the end of the day. As you go deeper, you start exploring new horizons that might have been a taboo in traditional form of learning, and this can open future door at actively pursuing your goals single-handedly gives the learner the necessary confidence to deal with the eventualities of life by any means. Self-learning material. Any learning resource that can be used by the learner without the presence of a teacher. There are 10 of the best free learning tools currently available for self-learners. They are Khan Academy, SoloLearn, Coursera, Booklearn, University of Oxford, Academy, etc. Then these resources or learning tools can help you boost your personal development and ability. Then advantages of self-learning. Then next one is advantages of self-learning. It is not time bound and is dependent upon the person who want to learn for whatever number of hours he feel like. It gives him the opportunity to set his own pace and remove frustration and boredom from the equation. Learning is without any restriction. Self-learning not subjected to location contract, as the individual can make use of the learning process from anywhere he places. He does not need to travel at a particular place at a specific time, and this work in this favor. It boosts the self-esteem of a person because he knows that he has learned everything on his own. It also helps him to keep digging well until the knows all there is to know about the topic. Self-learning helps to identify issues and find a solution quickly because you do not want to waste your valuable time sorting out issues. The ability to learn, identify and change become more spontaneous. The importance of self-learning is that it takes the circuit away. You are no longer dependent on others, and this proves beneficial in the long run. Identifying and tracking problem work as a booster and gives you immunity against issues and problems that a person faces in life. Self-learning helps you to find the ground under your feet. It prepares you for the future where you have to work alone to reach your goal. The reliance and the immunity that you gain here are the key tools that will take your future in life. Then disadvantages of self-learning. Then the next one is disadvantages of self-learning. You do not have ready-made material at your disposal, and whatever you need will have to be acquired through additional effort on your part. You will have to verify your study material, whereas in traditional learning method, these were already verified beforehand. Working with others help in brainstorming, which is not possible during self-learning. Teamwork encourages open communication that is not seen during the process of self-learning. There is no face-to-face interaction during self-learning. The lack of transformational power is a serious limitation of self-learning. Then programmed instruction. Programmed instruction is also known as programmed learning, as learning is focused in it. It provides opportunity to the learner to study and learn individually. Learning opportunity is provided through a frame or series of frame having learning material, inbuilt mechanism of evaluation and a related answer of the evaluation part to provide feedback. It is considered the modern computer aided learning. Then principle of programmed instruction, principle of small step, principle of active responding, principle of immediate feedback, principle of self-facing, principle of student testing. Programmed instruction is a method of individualized instruction where each individual learns by himself at his own rate. Program is a sequence of small steps of instructional material, most of which requires a response to be made by completing a blank space in a sentence. A system is applied and each response is verified by the provision of immediate knowledge of result. The teacher is not physically present. The programmer, while developing programmed material, has to follow the laws of behavior and validate his strategy in terms of student learning. It is based on Skinner operant conditioning. Then characteristic of programmed instruction. It is an individualized instruction. Material are developed keeping in view logical sequence. Immediate feedback is being provided. There is inbuilt mechanism of interaction between the learning material and learner. Learners learn the material with their own pace. Continuous evaluation is integral part of the learning material. Development of programmed learning material. Then development of programmed learning material. Preparatory phase, development of writing phase, evaluation phase, tryout and revision. Preparatory phase, selection of a unit or topic, preparation of content outline, depending objectives in behavioral term, construction of a test of entering behavior, construction of test of terminal behavior, development or writing phrase, present the material in frame, provider active student response, constructing test after each frame, provide for correction of student response, use of prompt to guide student response, provide careful sequence of frame, preparing answer key, then evaluation phase to evaluate to improve through tryout and tryout, to revise to evaluate the impact of the learning material. Advantages of programmed learning. There is no fixed time for learning. Students may learn at their own pace. Programmed learning is a strategy for self-learning easily without any tutor. It gives drill, practice, self-evaluation and motivation. It is a new method of presenting context to students through sequences in a controlled manner. It enhances student critical thinking ability and power of judgment. In short period of time, student can learn huge content. It helps for individual learning and avoid social and emotional problem. It immediately provide a result of progress. It is very helpful for distance learning. Then disadvantages of programmed learning. It limits students in creativity and originality. Preparation of material is time consuming. It restricts the student teacher interaction and relationship. Student may get separated from society. Doubt cannot be resolved through this instruction immediately as formal education. Then computer assisted instruction. Then the next topic is computer assisted instruction. Computer assisted instruction is an interactive instructional technique whereby a computer is used to present the instructional material and monitor the learning that take place. It may be used in offline, online. It is a self-learning technique whereby the computer is used to provide learning resources, record keeping progress, tracking and assessment of learner performance. CAI uses a combination of text, graphics, sound and video in enhancing the learning process. The computer has many purposes in the classroom and it can be utilized to help a student in all areas of the curriculum. CAI helps to improve instruction. CAI program are tutorials, drill and practice, stimulation and problem solving approaches to present topics, and they test the student understanding. They will also drive note on incorrect responses. Generally, it involves three types of techniques, namely hardware, software and courseware. Then types of computer assisted instruction. Drill and practice. Drill and practice provide opportunities in skill to become master in the content. Tutorial activity include both the presentation of information and its extension into different form of work, including drill and practice, game and stimulation. Then game content in the form of games are presented. Game software help to achieve highest score. Stimulation software can provide an approximation of reality. Then discovery approach provide a large database of information specific to a course or content area and challenges the learners to analyze, compare, enter and evaluation based on their exploration of the data. Then problem solving. This approach helps students develop specific problem solving skills and strategies. Then advantages of CAI. CAI provide one-to-one interaction. It is a great motivator. Instantaneous response, immediate feedback to the answer elicited. Self-facing allows students to proceed at their own pace. Then help teacher can devote more time to individual student. Privacy helps to sky and so learner to learn more and more rapidly. Multimedia helps to understand difficult concept through multi-sensory approach. Self-directed learning. Students can decide when, there and what to learn. CAI can be arranged for nearly 4,000 students simultaneously. Then disadvantages of CAI may feel overwhelmed by the information and resources available. Overuse of multimedia may divert the attention from the content. Learning becomes too mechanical. Non-availability of good CAI packages. Lack of infrastructure. CAI can become boring if a student is alone at a terminal for too long time. Then these are the teaching methods. First one is the teacher-centered method. Teacher-centered method is the lecture method and demonstration method. Team teaching, self-learning. First one is teacher-centered method. It is the most oldest teaching method is the lecture method. Lecture method is the most oldest method. It is the merit for lecture method. It is possible for handle a large number of students at a time and no laboratory equipment aids are required. Using this method, the knowledge can be imparted to the student quickly and the presented syllabus can be covered in a short time. Teachers feel secure and satisfied. Using this method, it is quite easy to impart facial information, historical anecdote, and life history of eminent personalities. Then teacher can develop his own style of teaching. In this method, teacher can easily the logical sequence of the subject by planning his lecture. This method gives the student as well as the teacher a sense of satisfaction and achievement. Then lecture method trains student to listen long duration. It deliver a lot of information in a short time. Thank you.